that easy, taking off of work, finding babysitters for your children. I just think it's amazing that a couple of years ago, starting in this battle, it was few. And now I look out and it's a sea of red shirts, of passionate parents and grandparents and citizens in this state who are fed up with our government not listening to us. I was on a recent trip to D.C. and I had the opportunity to visit the National Archives building, which houses some of our nation's most precious historical documents. In the center of this building was a huge rotunda, and in it lies the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. The lights are dimmed to almost a reverend level when you walk in there. And as I stood before this glass enshrined with these documents and guards flanked on either side, it was an emotional moment, and tears began to flow down my face as I stood before these precious documents that millions of Americans have given their lives to protect. I thought about the bravery and the courage that our founding fathers had when they signed their names on these documents. And it was a sure death warrant if we did not defeat the British. But they did what they knew was right. And we are supposed to do what we know is right. And Common Core is not right. And we have to fight this. Enough is enough. That one gentleman just said this is child abuse. You may think that sounds crazy, but it is child abuse. When kids are coming home crying and saying that they're stupid and feeling useless and worthless and hate school, enough is enough. What do we have to do to make our politicians listen to us? Many Americans have enjoyed a lifetime of freedom while generations before us painstakingly spent protecting our freedoms. The famous quote that many attribute to Thomas Jefferson comes to mind: "Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty." And for a short time, many of us were not vigilant, and wicked plans were spun that are rooted in greed and profit at the expense of our children. These plans have been woven into our state and federal governments. They have been put into our schools and our classrooms, and our children are paying the price. When parents beg and plead and are armed with facts and research and evidence, we're told to put on our tinfoil hats, rise off to our crazy towns on our magical unicorns, and told that we're insane. The problems with this initiative are real, and we have the evidence to prove it. Friends, this is a battle for our children's minds. It gets long and tiresome and discouraging at times. However, most things worth fighting for require a true test of endurance, and I do not know anyone with more endurance than a mother. We will not give up. We will not stop fighting this in our state. When I feel exhausted and ready to throw in the towel, I come back to these two things. One, we are on the right side of this issue. We have the truth, and God loves the truth. There is zero independent body of research that supports the claim that Common Core is a higher set of standards. We know we are right, and this experiment on our children must stop. The second thing I remember, elections are in November, and I promise I will make this cycle the most difficult election cycle humanly possible for as many of these representatives as we can. If they refuse to vote on this issue, they are cowards and they should not be in office. And if they do vote on this issue and they fail to stop the child abuse, then clearly they should not be in office. This one issue, this Common Core initiative, will show the true character of our leaders, and we will use November to flush this political system of as many cowards as possible. A leader doesn't hide in a crowd. He stands in front and scouts the best path forward, and we need real leaders in this state who will step up in our offices and join this fight. We parents have had enough. Enough of the hidden tests, enough of the inappropriate age work, enough of teacher evaluations based on test scores, enough of the federal intrusion, of big business using our classrooms as employee training centers, enough of tax-funded school choice schemes, enough of obscene accountability measures in our schools, enough of the surveys and the data mining and the attempts to seize control from our local school boards. I have had enough of the standardization of our children, and I thank you all for standing up for what's good and true and right.